I'm going to be talking today about outreach relationship management. So, if that affects you both in TDM programs, MPOs, BPOs, and transit agencies, that's the topic today. So, why outreach relationship management? First off, is having one central place for the ease of access to information, really getting to that information and being able to share that across all of the other types of different individuals that you're interacting with within your organization, as well as creating efficiency. So not having to rely on somebody's Outlook calendar, somebody's Outlook contacts, somebody's Outlook meetings. You can have all of this information centralized for reporting purposes, and we don't have to play past the spreadsheet. Cloud computing, introducing yourselves to cloud computing, online storage. You don't have to worry about IT servers, anybody to help manage information. Being able to access data from this year, last year, 5 years, 10 years ago, so that you can do historical reporting, go back and see what happened several years ago. Great for new employees so that when they're jumping into their position, they can see what's happened over the course of the last 2-3 years without looking at somebody's Outlook emails. And certainly the reporting data analytics that come provided with the platform, with the application, the reasons why you want to look at a centralized outreach relationship management and stop drowning in spreadsheets like the picture depicts there on the right-hand side. So cloud computing, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is not putting a server in the closet and managing that server and putting it connected to the internet and connected to a network. Cloud computing is about having a centralized organization that you don't have to worry about anything IT. All your data is stored in the cloud and very safe and secure. You can access it from your mobile phone, you can access it from your iPad, you can access it from your PC at work. Of course, with all of those security turned on, so we don't have to worry about somebody looking at your valuable information. We here at One Commute have several applications. Today, we're going to be focused on outreach relationship management, and we're going to dabble a little bit into the survey management, which is in the application as well. But if you see, we're a full-featured application management provider for passenger demand transportation. We're not going to go into these other areas like the commuter management or rides for vets and seniors. We're going to cover those in different online webinars. Our application, ORM application, is built on the Force.com platform. You may have heard of Salesforce. The reason why that's important from a computing perspective, they are the world's leading business platform to deploy applications. So our application is on something called the App Exchange, very similar to when you download applications on your iPhone from Apple or your Android phone. We are an application that could be downloaded from the App Exchange, plugged into a Salesforce environment. You do not need to have Salesforce subscriptions. You just need our subscriptions. But certainly there's a world of other applications that you can use for your organization. But the most important things for you to know is about the compliance from a security standpoint. Very, very important. A reporting engine for you to be able to use and report on everything that you need to do your business, as well as the native tools for building workflows, adding additional fields, and just things that are inherent to being able to change on the fly. And you don't have to ask your IT department to make that happen. Okay, the first thing we're going to go to, and we're going to go into the application, and just so you understand some of the things that you can go do. So the application is designed from the outreach relationship standpoint to be able to track employers, property managers, property owners, and all of those assigned inside of a building, as well as cities, as well as your vendors, as well as your van pool vendors, as well as the parking facilities, the transit facilities around these locations, whether if you collect information about an association, the awards and gamification, the partners, and it's meant to collect information and really start the gamification process. So with that, I'm going to go into the application. So you're seeing the very front end, and certainly everything inside of here is configurable. So if you see something you don't like, especially the picture of that guy up there on the left-hand side, but if you see things that you don't like, that's what our configuration, our implementation does. It configures your environment. So if this dashboard's not what you want to see, we can certainly put in other dashboards. We're going to go into an account. I've got a demo account. Again, this is all demo data that you are looking at right here. And we're seeing right about in the same account detail you'd have for maybe a CRM application. But then we start getting into personalized for transit and outreach management organizations, where we're starting to collect information about the number of employees, some commute calculations, so we could start building those dashboards that are around sustainability, that are around in calculating the CO2 and the greenhouse gas emissions. And then we start looking at some of the abilities that we can start looking at the partnership levels. We can take a look at the outreach team and what you think that how you're standing in this particular account is, and track that information. As I stated before, maybe association information, the property manager that account's associated, that employer is, what building they're in. And then even in the building, we can even get more detailed information about that building, the number of parking spots, the number of carpool spots, the number of van pool parking spots, any even LEED certifications that go on about that building, and really anything about building information. Even if that was at a property manager level, we can get all of the employers in a building, so you have visibility to all those employers and being able to start collecting your email lists, your targeted campaign lists. We can also list this transit facility. So if we wanted to do a targeted campaign for the transit facilities around that location, we can create targeted campaigns so that you can start educating those employees in that area of what buses are available, and then even possibly pull in route information to let them know when those routes are running in your area. Category codes are just a form of reporting. It helps you dissect the information and do reporting in individualized areas. We talked about the gamification, very configurable on how you want to put together your gamification program, and we can give you a standard template out of the box that you can build on as time goes on. So switching back to account management, let's go to next, contact management. Contacts, and this is important, especially if you have any turnover, or just from a reporting standpoint to know what meetings are being attended. In contact management, we collect the information about our employers, about the commuters, about those property managers that we need to have for those accounts. So in this example, we can go in here and add a contact. We're going to make them a business contact, and we call it Shirley, Franklin. So if you see in here, we can collect a lot of information about that contact, whether they're our transportation coordinator, maybe they're a transit coordinator, who they may report to, if they're on your board, certainly all their contact information, and begin to put them into marketing lists as well, so that we can then segregate those folks on which campaigns that we want to extract them from and make them part of when we're sending out the mass targeted emails. Go ahead and save this one. The other thing that we're able to do in here is we can go out and track the activities for these folks. So we can create a meeting with a company or an organization. So maybe that's a transit meeting that we're going to talk to, maybe van pool meeting with a particular organization. It's a face-to-face, and we're going to talk to them about, here we go, a van pool delivery, and discuss van pool. So you can see we can collect information about literally anything as those meetings are going on, specifically for your reporting at the end of the year, for your organization, for your state needs, and even the completion of those meetings. Maybe it was a trade show fair that you attended, and you want to know how many attendees that were there. So we had 12 as part of this meeting. So you can see we're collecting valuable data for your reporting needs. So next up, we have program overview and mode counts. Program overview and mode counts really start describing see, we even have the pop-up that this meeting was going to happen 15 minutes ago. Program overviews and mode counts are designed to help collect information about the programs that your accounts have existing today. A program overview is meant to be somewhere in the time horizon of 5 years. Mode counts are surveys that we update information from. So you could do that every year, every 18 months, that you're collecting information about how does this particular organization's commuters get to and from work every day. So in here, we're going to take a look at the Nike program overview, and we can see the program overview history. Let's look at this year's program overview history so we can start collecting information about whether they have an on-site transportation coordinator. Do they educate their employees about the programs that are available? Do they offer recruitment programs for those commuters? Do they have bike walk facilities, car share, carpool, transit, van pool, bus, train, trolley, telework, compressed work week, alternative work hours, and even if you want the other programs that might be around the organization in that building, like a bank, ATM, or other things that you can collect about that particular employer's facilities. So then we'll go into something called mode counts. We'll look at the mode count from 2015, from last year. So mode counts are a way that we're taking a survey and we're collecting information. So this worksite has 10,000 employees, and we have a calculation in here based off of if you want a 5%, 10%, whatever your level of acceptance is based off statistical analysis. This one is set up for 5%. It says of the 10,000 employees, to get statistically relevant data, you have to have at least 99 complete the survey. In here we had actually 1,423 that completed the survey. And so that can give us an idea to apply in general the number of carpool, vanpool, and even those that are driving alone to work. We can collect that information all together and start reporting the sustainability numbers and apply those numbers across the organization based off of meeting the statistical relevancy of this particular survey. But it does, we get to start calculation, the number of commute trips and the number of savings that they can generate based off those commuters that are saving today. It also helps you with parking, so you can get an idea for forecasting parking needs out into the future. Or they can get that idea of forecasting parking needs out into the future. Program plan actuals. Program plan actuals are they're there to help you track the services that you are providing your customers. They're a way to also, another way to build up the point system and the gamification for those services that are consumed by employers. Let's take a look at an example in here. Under the program plan actuals, we'll take a look at one from Lowe's here. And basically you're tracking what services, like a new hire package that you're providing Lowe's, and the new hire package says, please go to my website, or here's the emergency ride home contract, or here is those places that you might be able to find ride match opportunities, or even a Lyft or Uber card to be able to get to and from the workplace. So they're meant to be tracking the services that you offer for those employers, and then we're able to roll those services up, and we start seeing the level of engagement that your particular employer may have with you, your property manager may have with you. So you can create a point system, a checkbox system, both, a singular, and what it really starts doing is starts to calculate then, based off of the points that the services they're consuming, the information that you're gathering from those employers, property managers, to start building a profile of them to give awards and be able to recognize those organizations that are using programs to try to take single occupancy vehicles off of the road. Okay, next up, the point system. So the points can be earned in many levels. It's a very flexible system that you can design your own system of how those points roll up. You can have those rolled up by the number of tasks and events, the services. Maybe they have to have a transportation coordinator. They offer van pool programs. They have shuttle programs. Whatever it is that you want to design your program, we provide you a template, but you can then go off that template and then create your own services points program. Okay, survey management. So let's talk about survey management. So the powerful thing about survey management is you could conduct your own surveys right inside of our application, and do a mass email campaign to those contacts that you want to send the survey to. Very similar to a SurveyMonkey, we can add the skip function questionality, all the questions that you want to see from a metrics standpoint. So let's go ahead and take a look. But the powerful thing here is being able to automatically update mode counts, as well as having survey data in one location that's not a spreadsheet sitting on somebody's hard drive. And you can access that data and have year-to-year comparisons. So if you see over here, I'm going to go over to the survey tracker, and it's its own application. We'll take a look at the surveys. So we provide you with several sample surveys that are in here already as part of the application. And we can see we could collect just even the header information, but you can create all of your own questions. We provide you sample questions. You can create these skip questions, so if they answer a carpool, then you can ask them additional information based off of the question that they ask. You can ask the vertical matrix type questions on maybe how they get back and forth to the work. You can also put your own custom style sheets on the message or the survey that they're going out. All we need to do is put in your custom style sheet. You can put your header, you can put your text information that goes along with it, and then share that information across. And certainly you can send it as an email link, or you can send it out as anonymous out to those folks. So if you just are putting yours into an Outlook document, you're forwarding it on to your contact, and they're sending it out, all we're doing is copying the link to capture when they're going to the survey. That link is going to be your website information that we would create for it to start tracking that information. And then certainly the results, we can start seeing the results of the survey information, of the information that you're collecting, and being able to create the dashboards and scorecards as needed, as well as update the mode counts. Moving on, guaranteed ride home program. You might call it emergency ride home program. So going back into the application, we can take a look at a guaranteed ride home program. We call it the ride home program. Taking a look at the information that we can collect, and we can collect who is requesting the guaranteed ride home, who is asking for the emergency ride home. We also have functionality that will say it's okay or not okay for them based off of the numbers that you define on the either a max of the amount per month, a max amount per year, a max amount per calendar year. We keep a standard in here where we can track that information and put those variables in there so that you are able to track those folks who are requesting the ride home. We can also create vouchers if needed to be able to track that information. We see in here that this particular Sioux passenger has had 6 over the last course of a few months. And so you're able to see that activity in your guaranteed ride home program. Okay, incentive management. So incentive management, we're able to track the programs, and we'll go back in here in just a second. We're able to track the budgets for incentives. We're able to track the emails you send out. We're able to track the social media campaigns, the incentives that you use, and the dollar amounts for commuters and campaigns. So if we take a look at the incentive management campaign, we can go to incentive management and just take a look at, here's a corporate challenge. They had a budget of $5,000. What was the start date? What was the end date? You could add a territory. How many emails did you send? How many were open? And especially your social campaigns that you're going out to track that information on social. How many tweets were retweeted? How many Facebook likes did you get? And so on and so forth. So you have a way to track those for your reporting needs, for your incentives that you do for your commuters. Van pool management. We have a complete van pool management, including NTD reporting. So if you want to have more than just one V-Ride or Enterprise, or now they're both one, or if you want the independents, You can use our van pool tracking application to track all of the van pools that are out there. We can track every van pool across the spectrum, regardless of who the service provider is. We can track the vehicles that are associated with it, the drivers, all of the information that you're collecting from a driver log standpoint. You can even have those vendors set up where they have access only to their information so that drivers can update those logs on a daily basis, so that this gives you that you don't have to be attached to just one van pool vendor, and you can do all your NTD reporting from one location, including the financial information, the budgeting information. Okay, moving on, transit passes. You can collect, if you track transit passes, you sell transit passes to employers so that they can give a discount, and that goes through we can track all of those by account. We can even set it up that those employers manage that purchase online, and we manage the cards online for activation if we want to go do that as well. Maps, so we can also do the maps where we're able to plot the location of all your employers. We can plot the location even of all your commuters if you want to so load that. We can populate the transit stations. We can populate the carpool location. We can populate the van pool. So we could all see them all in one map for any analysis you want to do. We do use Google. It does require some additional Google licensing if we're going to go use maps to build the information and to receive the map coordinates. So reports and dashboards. We're seeing a standard dashboard that comes up. These dashboards could be emailed on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, however you want them to generate. I can drill on my dashboard and go right into the information that's contained in behind there of what is populating that dashboard and how was it created. We can go out there and create dashboards and reports. Also, if you see something here called snapshots, this is the beauty of what we do as well. Snapshot is just like you're thinking about it, taking a picture in time. So we can set up these snapshots of taking a picture of in time of your accounts, of your program overviews, of your employer services. So we can take a snapshot of your reporting in time to be able to do comparisons of that snapshot in time. Reporting, certainly full, you can report on literally anything in the application, every field in the application, with the exception of a few small things like something that's an attached document. You can't do a report on the visibility of those attached, but pretty much anything else that you can report. And we give you well over, I think we're at 150 standard reports. So these standard reports are something for you to use to go create to extract information for whatever you are trying to do. So this is a standard report of the partner platinum awards and all the information that goes along with it. You can also export your details into an Excel spreadsheet so that if you want to manipulate that data, you can do that as well. But the big thing is we can set up these reports, these dashboards, for you to be able to run once a month, get your reports out the door. All you have to be sure is those folks that need to enter the data that make up that report, they enter that information in so that you're able to create your reports. Dashboards, certainly there's a plethora of information that we can put into a dashboard. So each one of these dashboard items is actually a report. So we could come in here if you want to add new components. It's really easy. I'm just going to say find this summary, and let's do annual summary of the vehicles, and give me a component. I don't know. We'll just pick the donut, and it takes. There we go. What's the reduced by transit from territory 1? So it's easy to do the drag and drop for scorecards and dashboards. Okay, so big data, big things. Let's move on. There's multiple, and map analytics. I left that out, and we're going to have our own separate webinar. So work order tracking. This is also our request tracker. This is a pretty valuable tool that we have as part of the application. Very valuable tool for you as an organization. Plus, we track it for our implementation. We also track it for requests by you. If you want to receive help, training, or you think you may have found a bug in our application, we don't believe we make bugs, but maybe that you come across something that you want to track, you can track internal calls, inbound calls, information requests. We use it even internally to track our own development application. But if you wanted to track an inbound call, so to speak, or even new ideas, so you can track an inbound call, the name of the caller, we can track all of that information as part of your program. So you have a log of the activities that you were doing for your organization. Oh, next. So marketing. Marketing basics are included in the application. And what do we mean by the marketing basics? Marketing basics in here allows you to generate the mass emails. It allows you to generate, so if we can go create a mass email, my contacts. I go create a list, email. And we hit save. We can automatically generate a list of those that will go out to that we can send. We build a template and we can start tracking that information as well from a marketing campaign standpoint. Okay, and then there's advanced marketing. We're not going to go into the advanced marketing. It does require some additional subscription, and we cover it in a separate presentation. But it really becomes then the next step if you really want to start targeting towards, this is really towards commuters. Building a commuter profile and going to thousands of contacts, thousands of folks for your brochures, for your literature, and then to start campaigning for individualized campaigns. When you start doing your surveys, being able to target those that are only interested in bike pole, those that are only interested in transit, those that are only interested in bus. And it just requires a little bit more subscription than what we're going to talk about from our general outreach application. Additional, certainly from a document share standpoint, you can load your documents, especially marketing information that you share, your brochures that you have located. Workflow management, that's a big key thing to have. It automatically can generate emails, alerts, approval processes such as the guaranteed ride home, approval that somebody has given approval that you're allowed to send over the voucher or pay the taxi information. You certainly can have a full call center application where we do case management. Mobile is part of the application. You can download the mobile application and be accessing this information across any mobile phone. Integration, we can integrate to literally every field. Open APIs, every field can be integrated to. Every field we can send information. It literally takes 5 minutes to turn on. Takes a little bit of time if we have to go build it to another application, but it literally takes 5 minutes to do. And the last thing in there is Chatter. You see the Chatter marker in there. Chatter is just a great internal messaging platform, and you start building groups similar to LinkedIn groups that you want to belong to, but it's informational groups. We use it in our deployment for training. We use it for those folks that want to get more information about specific topics. We talked about earlier, commuter management. We have additional applications. We're not going to provide that today, but there is another presentation you can click on to, and certainly in future emails that we'll be sending out through our marketing automation programs. Well, the final thing is the ROI for ORM, CRM, or collaboration systems. This is a model that we put together for somebody recently, and it really is in the savings that you have from a reporting standpoint. They had a lot of reporting that they did at the end of the month. They had a lot of reporting they did at the end of the year. They had van pool reporting, they had executive reporting, and just the management of data and the use of spreadsheets. And so there was a lot that they needed to support their 3-person shop. And you see that you can get a lot more efficiency out of your folks if you're able to put applications in place that they can utilize as opposed to the spreadsheets that they've been utilizing in the past. My name's Steve Wheeler. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, there's my email, there's our contact information, and you can find us out on OneCommute or go to the App Exchange and go search on OneCommute. Thank you very much.